They last 4 seconds.
So do you.
The 1975 winner, Foolish Pleasure. And who else to ride that? Robert Kraft.
Oh, no.
I stood right in front of these kids.
From high school and middle schoolers, Chris, is what he's comparing to athletes
none of
on
them are
ice.
ringing in at 100 miles an hour with a rubber puck.
Gentlemen, times 40. Happy
incredible.
40th episode. Gentlemen.
40 gentlemen.
That's a round number.
That is
Nice.
That is a full-time work week worth of stupidity that is out there in the world.
Yes. Welcome to the Juice Boys Show. You guys know, three brothers-in-law stupid enough to start a weekly sports podcast. Too stupid to stop after the big 4. Oh, boys. I can't believe it. Whenever you're listening, however you're listening, wherever you're listening, we thank you so much. Feel so blessed to have this little community of ours. Shows drop every Friday. Be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. For now, all the latest updates, fun piece of sports content. I am the third turd, Cody. Got my two brothers-in-law, who I love very much.
Cody.
Juice Boy Joe, Mr. Pulp Chris Pelletier, boys. Happy 40th. What are we drinking? How are we celebrating this?
I feel so special.
Momentous occasion, boy.
I know Joey's got something up his sleeve for us.
Ooh, what do you got, friend?
No, I wasn't putting anything on my sleeves. I just got this new shirt that I could put my thumbs in my sleeves. So I was just having fun with that.
Oh, okay.
So
So you have hands in your sleeves.
We just started our
there's
40th
thumbs.
episode with a guy.
You
showing
crushed
us
it.
this.
Thumbs in my sleeves. Unfortunately, I don't have anything fun planned. I got the sniffles, so I'm drinking straight whiskey. Just straight,
Okay.
just straight whiskey. Just trying to burn that shit away.
What
just
kind
get
of-
out of here.
What do we got, though?
Oh, the Elijah Craig. I'm just gonna just get burn it, get it down. And then so my chaser tonight is a orange Gatorade. My favorite flavor. My favorite flavor of Gatorade.
A Florida startup.
Beautiful.
A Florida startup.
Yeah.
Gotta support. Chris, please say you can beat that.
Oh, I can beat that. But can we just recognize what less than half a year ago we were just three idiots talking directly into our laptop. And now
Someone
here
was
we
talking
are.
into a phone. I can't remember who. Joey was talking into a
I
phone.
think it was me because remember my computer did. Yeah.
Now here we are. We've got headsets, we've got microphones, and all of the misplaced ego and arrogance that
Authority.
40 hours worth of
So
bullshit
much-
directly rotting your brain.
So
And to
much
help that
misplaced ego.
along, I was actually out in Nashville this weekend, and I
Oh,
picked
that's right.
myself up a nice bottle of Southern Collective single barrel straight rye whiskey.
Oh.
Talking about burning things out. It rings in at 114 proof.
Oh,
That's gonna-
man. That's
That's
hot.
what I need.
And I
That's
told
what I
these folks
need right now.
we're starting recording a little late. They put wax on to seal it up like Maker's Mark, but they went a little heavy on the wax. I had to go grab wire cutter.
He did.
For real.
We had to
Wax
delay
that I could
recording.
like a
damn
pull,
thing,
they
yeah.
have a pull tab thing. You can rip it off.
yeah, the pull tab was not stout enough to overcome the amount of wax on this bad boy, but here we go diving in.
I hope your liver is recovered from your bachelor party.
It has not, but thank you for asking.
Okay. So go ahead and wash that down with some more whiskey.
Yeah, just pound it back and, back to Saturn we go.
I love it. Well, I'm drinking. You know what got us here, guys? A nice joke. A little Dickel, right? But
That's
I'm going
right.
straight Dickel.
Oh, straight no ice.
Straight
No
Dickel
ice.
down your
Straight
throat.
Dickel.
Dickel down the throat.
Are we
no
all
ice.
just straight manning it?
Are we all
tonight?
just
straight?
Are we?
Wow. Okay.
No ice? Wow, gentlemen. Are we
Wow.
classy bras?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, boys.
Jeez.
That's how you
All right.
celebrate 40 by just
That's
real
right.
smooth.
Classy.
40
clinky.
episodes. Oh my gosh, 2 bonuses too in there. So 42 total, 40 full episodes. You guys know the drill at this point. We got a sports docket. We got a big potato. Squeeze of the week. Sounds like JoJo is clocking in there. Fat stat of the day
lot
to
of things I
wrap
gotta
us
say.
up. He's got things. Well, boys, let's jump into the docket, shall we? Nuggets are in trouble. I don't want to say it. Jamal Murray also throwing shit on the court. Not a good look. I think he was suspended, or he was fined
not suspended.
$100,000. He was fined
That's
$100,000.
right.
I don't think he's going to be suspended, but that could have been real bad. They're down 0-2 by the time this airs.
Huge fit.
Could be
just
0-3, 1-3.
embarrassing.
What do we think of the Nuggets?
Are we hopeful? Fit in the second period. I mean, it was just like I think that they were second quarter. I think they were really trying to get ejected.
Joey does have hockey on behind him.
I do. I've got hockey on the brain right now. We're in Colorado hat, and let's go, baby. Avs are down 0-2. I'm really upset. Just like the Nuggets. The Nuggets are down 0-2 in the series.
Correct.
That's horrible. I told you guys to watch out for Anthony Edwards.
You didn't tell us. We all agreed.
Everybody said that.
Dude,
you did not.
My take.
Oh my God, fellas! What a red hot take! Watch out for the biggest rising star in the NBA right now. What a red hot, way out there takes by old Juice Boy Joe.
Watch out for the guy being compared to Michael Jordan. That's a hot take, Joe.
Sifting his own bullshit.
Holy shit!
The first game, 43 points. That was ridiculous. Second game, their defense is just so good. And as I said before, when Karl Anthony Towns was out, I think that they're better when they only have one of their big men in. And they proved that in the last game with Rudy Gobert. You got to say it like you got something on your tongue, like a Frenchman. When he was out, the birth of his child. I mean, come on, you could play.
No, okay. Are we calling out? I didn't know where to go with that.
I'm just joking. Good for him. You
maybe a juicy squeeze if you wanted to.
But him being out and then losing by 26, that's a kick in the dick. That sucks.
The Timberwolves also have 3 big dudes who can guard Jokic. That's what he can't really put the team on his back. Jamal Murray is just hurt. I feel like it's an MPJ series. He's gonna have to step up, get more buckets. Hopefully Murray can strike in the fourth, but you can't rely as much on Jokic. But they just have those fat bodies they're gonna throw at him all game long.
Well, and Aaron Gordon as well. He started off really carrying the team in game 2. He looked great.
Oh yeah, started hitting a couple threes off the bat.
Absolutely, and then it was just like he was blanketed there. Like, we're not going to allow Aaron Gordon to beat us.
I don't know what they could do if they have to get a better bench, or somebody else. I don't know. Is Michael Porter Jr. not the answer? I mean, the guy can score, but that's about it. I don't know, because just Jamal Murray, when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's horrific. Jokic, even though he was putting up 25 and 20 numbers in the Lakers, he still didn't look the same. He has not looked the same dominant Jokic this postseason, despite his numbers. I hope that this is just a shock that they need to get it going. Like I'm saying, I think Jamal Murray threw a hissy fit, hoping he'd get kicked out of that game. And Mike Malone is hoping to get kicked out of that game just to have some reason to get their asses kicked. They did not throw him out just to be like, no, you have to sit here and watch yourself.
They got their asses kicked. You can't get blown out.
Watch
slaughtered.
Yeah.
You're the defending champs at home after losing game 1. I understand losing game 2, but getting your asses kicked pretty much, was it halftime the game felt over?
I fell asleep at halftime and then woke up and I think it was 30 at halftime or 29 or something. It was bad.
Just unacceptable. Now they got to go on the road. That young Timberwolves team, plus in the city that they never won? Timberwolves,
no, they never won.
They're hungry.
They've never made finals. Made one Western Conference Finals with the Garnett, and that's it.
Yep. Wemby wins the Rookie of the Year. We only put this in the docket to say, screw you, Chris, because you picked the field.
You had your chance.
Pretty much always
instead of Wemby. Wemby wins. Chris sucks. Also, shout out to Mystic Dan for winning the Kentucky Derby after listening to this podcast and shitting all over Chris, who shit on Mystic Dan
when I didn't. And you know what? That's called reverse psychology, boys. I knew it all along.
I saw that come through, started laughing my ass off. I was like, Chris should have picked Mystic Dan.
Holy
shit. Talking so much trash.
And that was my note. I forgot. This show's blowing up faster than Mystic Dan coming on the home stretch. Suck it, Chris. Chris took
so
30.
Are we through the intro then? Are we done with the intro?
Yeah, we are.
Way to go.
I wrote a joke. I had to use the
boys. Chris, can we talk about the most horrific thing? Well, it's depending on how you look at it. Yes, I'm a Boston sports fan, but I'm just way more of an Avs fan. I've never really been a big Bruins fan. But to see the Maple Leafs lose again in Game 7,
I was rooting for them
again to the Bruins again. It was just, you have got to be kidding.
That game was insane too.
It was an incredible game. It was one of those games that it's 0-0. Like when you watch playoff hockey or playoff baseball and the game's 0-0, that does not mean it's boring.
It is tense.
That means it's so intense.
Buttholes are tight.
The wild thing was, I was sitting there. I was literally at a bar in Nashville watching the game, and I turned to my buddy and I was like, "The crazy thing about a game like this is you'll see it go 0-0 deep into the third, and then somebody scores, and it's like you blink, and now all of a sudden it's 1-1.
That's what happened. They scored,
and then that's what happened. Like
Toronto scored, the entire city almost caught on fire. Then 80 seconds later, Boston scores, and then Pasternak scores in overtime in Game 7. I mean, it's just like it's so unbelievably heart-wrenching. It's so like they are the new Cubs. Oh, no, not the new Cubs. They haven't won since the 60s. They're just like, is this ever going to happen? When you have
such a talented core,
you have like Austin Matthews, Nylander, Marner. I mean, they are absolutely stacked, and to lose like that is just absolutely heart-wrenching. The Avs ended up looking phenomenal after letting up 7 goals in their first game, won the first series 5-1.
Boys, NFL draft wrapped up, ratings came out, and averaged 12 million people a day for 3 days. That is more than the World Series, the NBA Finals. Pretty much every sporting event that's actually being played. The NFL draft, which is an off-season event where nothing is played, outdrew all of them. So what do other sports do to keep up? Or is Roger Goodell the greatest commissioner of all time? And that's also down 3% from last year, the NFL draft. So it's actually down. Doesn't matter. They still wipe the floor with every sport. What are they doing right? What does everyone else need to mimic? And is Roger Goodell God? I don't know.
So before we dive in on this, I can't help but notice that our shared note is doing talk to text, and so every last bit of what McCoy just said just got written down. Yeah, you're doing great over there.
40 episodes, boys.
What was the question again? I wasn't paying attention. I was just giggling over here.
The only way you could start this is by just noting. This is obviously where Cody's brain is, this Saudi simp money grubbing.
What?
All you care about is money and development. And
what?
It's just like, no.
It's a question.
You said Roger Goodell is the greatest commissioner of all time. That guy's a freaking asshole. And everybody hates him. He has set the league back in so many ways. Yes, they are. It's patty cake now. It's freaking patty cake. You know, it's just like you got to just embrace the violence. Don't change the game. This is not what it is. The records are different. The game is different. It's not fair. The things that he allows, the things that he enforces, and the things that he lets go by. And if it's going to make him an extra dollar, if it's going to make him do anything else, then he's going to do it. Yes, Cody, you would say that he's the greatest commissioner of all time because he has seen this exponential growth, like a stock market, just
Roger Goodell
growing and growing. I hate Roger Goodell. Right? I would try not to swear on this podcast, but fuck Goodell. I hate that guy so much. You cannot say that he's a good thing for the NFL.
Really?
You cannot say that.
Do you like Super Wild Card Weekend?
No, it's 7 teams. No, I don't.
You don't like that weekend of football?
No, I don't like 7 teams. I think that's stupid.
That's false. You put more money on that weekend than anything else. You could say that now, but during the weekend, it's the.
What did you just say? You just said money. Yes, I don't care about money. I'm a school teacher. All right, I don't care about money. I care about traditions. I care about the game.
Traditions.
He has changed it. Now they're going to change the kickoff rule. They've changed all these things. Yes, and a lot of it was to Brady's benefit. I understand that. But
wasn't it safety involved? Do you not want safety in the players?
I don't. You know,
say it. No, put it on record. You don't want safety.
I'm going to take the side that Mark Schlereth has said over and over and over again. I love Mark Schlereth. He's got really good green chili. Besides that, he said he knew damn well going into this what it was going to do to his body. And he knows damn well that he is going to be decrepit, probably have CTE. He knows he has it right now, but he said, I will do it all again because of what it did for my family. He was able to play the thing and do the thing that he loved. You look at hockey in the meantime, they took away fighting and they tried to take away violence and their viewership plummeted, right? And now they brought it back and they're like, oh, we don't care. You know, this is what the fans want. This is the real game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he's trying to do too much.
The viewership only goes up. Chris, do you have any thoughts on this? I'm a little confused.
I mean, my God, like under that same thought process, so should NASCAR still be racing in the same, made of steel vehicles that they were racing back in the 70s that were deadly? Like, to say that they don't owe their players, the people who are putting their lives on the line for the actual game itself. Like, man, I'm all on board with fuck Roger Goodell for so many reasons. But to draw that line in the sand of like, they shouldn't be taking these people's safety seriously at all. They should just be churning out CTE monsters left and right because they knew what they were getting into and they got a nice fat paycheck on the way. It's like a completely bullshit take, Joey.
Dude, there's this thing circling around on the social media, right? Follow us, thank you.
Oh, Joey's got
on
the inside scoop,
on the
everybody.
social media that's showing the intro to the 1977 NFL Today. Every single play on that is a penalty now.
No, it's a you're going to jail. Like it's a
you're gonna be kicked out of the game. Yeah, every single play. Now it's just like, now should it be that? I don't know, maybe.
Oh my gosh, has the draft?
All right, so pulling from my comparison, okay, so if we go and watch the 1977, NASCAR intro, it's all just crashes. How many people died in those? How many people had their lives completely altered in those? How many people wound up being completely knocked out of a sport that they loved in those highlights? Is anybody going back and be like, man, we need to bring those old cars back that were tin cans full of death?
Because that's how it's supposed to be.
Actually, yes, they are. Yes, they are, especially with like F1 right now, because they're going to a half electric model in 2026. Probably gonna make the car a lot faster. It's a lot lighter, but I mean, they're just saying no. The best era was the late 80s, early 90s. And that's when like everyone died. It was so dangerous, but those were the best cars. They were the fastest.
Like these guys are getting paid so much, they owe their lives to me as the viewer. They owe their own personal safety and well-being to me because I tune in for an hour of my week.
Yeah, as far as the business, he has done what? He's made the NFL draft a whole weekend that outviews everything else.
It's not a business. It's a nonprofit.
Oh, right.
Remember,
but it's not
the
nonprofit.
NFL
He
does
makes
not make a
$40
profit. It's a nonprofit organization.
I apologize. Every single commercial is getting Super Bowl commercial is worth more than next year. Super Bowl halftime rights went to Apple Music, bajillions of dollars. The streaming wars going on. Amazon Prime getting in the game.
I hate all
Goodell
this.
is a smart businessman.
I hate all this. Smart businessman, but I hate it. Of course, I have all those streaming platforms, but that's not the point. That's not the point, McCoy. I don't have them because of him. No, it's like, just because I have the streaming services doesn't mean that he has to only put them on there and force people into doing it. Because now everybody steals my stuff. So just because I have it.
I don't. I got ethics and morals.
I was watching HBO last night. Thank you.
Yeah, it's delightful.
All right, guys, and let's wrap. We should continue that debate because you're all wrong. I guess Chris actually took my side. Sorry, that's just my default answer is you all are wrong. But
Juice Chunkies, please respond.
I don't think I necessarily
that.
took your side as much as I just disagreed with Joey's shit take that like these people owe their own future and life to us for
a few $1 million,
an hour of entertainment and a fat paycheck.
Yep,
I'd do it.
Okay,
I know you would.
You don't care about money. You just said you don't care about money because you're a teacher.
Right. That's why I played the sport
Joey,
that I love.
You have injured yourself just as much. Never got the paycheck. I think that's the important thing.
You injured yourself walking into the record tonight.
Oh yeah, I thought I broke my thumb last week at baseball. Yeah, I just bursted the blood vessel. It swelled.
See, that was a joke, but that was a joke. I didn't think you actually got hurt, but you always got something. You're always. All right, let's wrap it up with the biggest podcast debate going on right now. I think it started with Micah Parsons and some football people debating that NFL players would make better NBA players than NFL players would make. No, than NBA players would make NFL players. Now it's catching fire, big podcast debate. Obviously, we're the biggest podcast in the world, so we have to chip in.
We've been receiving droves of emails.
Yeah, everyone needs to know what the Juice Boys think. Boys, what are you taking for the opposite league? I'll tell you, NBA players are going to be better in the NFL. What are a bunch of fat guys in the NFL going to do in the NBA? Nothing. So you'll get some maybe pretty much receivers.
Yeah, I just assumed that we were talking skill positions because I'm not going to go put Aaron Donald into the
But they're on the field, so there's more high volume of athletes who are not going to play in the NBA. There's a higher percentage of NBA players who will play in the NFL. Yes, it'd probably be more skill position, wide receiver, maybe a cornerback, probably, maybe some safeties for the bigger fellas. Probably no linebackers.
Any NBA player that's going to play in the NFL is going to get their knees taken out by Rodney Harrison or TJ Ward on the first play of their entire career. It's like that's the only way you can stop a big person. Like, unless you think, like, yeah, Shaq could probably play offensive line. I bet you can't get by him. But at the same point, I think that you telling me that Odell Beckham back when he was for real that he couldn't play in the NBA with his agility, or Tyreek Hill or something like that. I mean, come on now. It's just like the NFL is much better athletes. They're way bigger, way stronger. They can take them. They're way more physical. They're better athletes.
They're such good athletes. They need 30 seconds in between 5-second plays.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're totally right.
More physical.
For sure.
That much more physical. Yeah.
No way. Not even. No. Okay.
Are you just negating the hurry up offense right now?
Oh.
Like, they take 30 seconds to figure out what they're doing, not because they're like,
no, but that's how they train.
Yeah.
They only train for spurts. They would die after 5 minutes in an NBA game. You
You're
play
right.
in
Joel
Denver
Embiid,
even?
Joel
Oh my
Embiid
God.
sprints on every play. You're right. He does.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And Anthony Davis, I want to see him. I want to see how long he lasts as a tight end in the NFL.
You would take NFL players?
The dude broke, like, his shoulder, got a stinger on his shoulder from a maybe an elbow from Michael Porter Jr.
You don't think Anthony Edwards is going to run a route and kick their ass? Oh, come
Anthony
on.
Edwards is okay. He could do whatever he wants. It's like LeBron
Right,
James.
LeBron James, the
incredible.
original person who's like, hey, he could play both.
Yeah, Randy Moss would have been outstanding in the NBA too. That dude
So
was.
what are you taking? So you're taking NFL?
Calvin Johnson. You tell me Calvin Johnson with his vertical couldn't just smash down. Tony Gonzalez was a phenomenal.
okay, but if we're taking the greatest of all time, like, those are just freak athletes who could have picked anything and been like, this is what I'm a professional at now.
I think there's more positions available for NFL players to make it in the NBA than there are for NBA players to make it in the
I'll tell you, I'd love to see Zion Williamson on an edge rush.
Ooh.
Now,
Keep going, Chris. Keep going.
That would be a behemoth. No, I would still go NFL translating into the NBA. I think they're more resilient. I think they're tougher.
Resilient? They last 4 seconds.
So do you. Nailed it. But no, I mean, seriously, I just think that they're built more rough and tumble. I think that, just having that strong.
NBA's not rough and tumble anymore. That's not how they play
at all. That's what I'm saying. That's why they can't make it.
You can put the fat guys in there.
You're just making my point
way
for
too
me.
soft.
Put NBA players in, and they don't have. Yeah, they don't have the resiliency to take that sort of impact. Could Anthony Davis run a route and beat some guys? Yeah. Could Anthony Davis get back up and do it again after getting hit? Not a chance.
I want to see Micah Parsons as a power forward. Come on. He'd dominate. He would eat. There's nobody.
No touch. No touch. Just
all he needs to do is
athletic.
back him down and dunk it like Zion should, but he's too fat and out of shape to do it.
It takes skill to play basketball, boys. You got to have some skill around here.
It doesn't take skill to play football?
No, you're fat. You just got to move people around.
Fat. Have you seen these people?
You just got to move weight. Just move people around.
To be an offensive lineman, maybe, but to be D-line, like, are you telling me that Nick Bosa is fat? That Myles Garrett is fat? Are you telling me that Myles Garrett would not be the most dominant power forward in the league?
He would not be the most dominant.
Also, can we talk about how similar body types Garrett Bowles and Nikola Jokic have?
He's way fatter. Bowles is way fatter.
Shh. Help me make that.
All right, we should continue this debate. Again, you're both wrong. Music break. Welcome back, boys. 40th episode special. Thank you so much for listening. Be a friend, tell a friend. We are on Squeeze of the Week. This is our most outlandish takes each and every week, brought to you by a sponsor coming up from Christopher. Today on the dock, it looks like Juice Boy Joe has some thoughts, feelings.
I do. We'll see. We'll see if it's poopy. I think it is.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
Joe,
see.
Take it away.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right. We're talking about dog shit commissioners. I've got a real bone to pick with Rob Manfred. All right. Like the MLB is an absolute catastrophe and a fucking shit show right now. And it's really making me angry. And for multiple reasons, they're finally fixing the jerseys of fine, whatever. But the contracts that they're giving and the fact that they still do not have a damn salary cap is one of the biggest crock of shits in all of sports. The way that right now you look at who is at the top of the entire league. I mean, you could just take guesses right off the bat. The Dodgers, third place. Yankees
Dodgers,
fourth.
Yankees, Mets.
fourth place. Mets, no, hilariously, they are trash.
Braves.
But the Phillies, Braves, they're all up there. Why? Because they all have by far the largest salaries out of anybody that's playing. Baltimore Orioles, thank you for trying to do this right, but in 2 years you're going to be effed. When all those players' contracts come up, you're going to lose everybody. You better win it this year. Now let's take a look down at the bottom. How is this possible that you can have a team, 2 teams in Major League Baseball with 8 wins and 26 or more losses? I mean, at this point in the season, that is absolutely disgusting. The Colorado Rockies are 8-26, and the White Sox lost just a second ago to make them 8-28. They are already 17 and a half games out.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's not great.
It is May 7th. It is just an absolute joke and I think this really comes down to the functionality of Major League Baseball. How are they allowing these teams to do this? How are they allowing these teams to develop these rosters and say we are a major league program? I mean, like the only other place that there is this much consistent horrific play would be like in Europe. But guess what happens? You get relegated, you get tossed down. So if you're horrific for 30 years, like we're just seeing in the show Welcome to Wrexham, you can be booted from second to top. They're in the Champions League, right below the Premier League, and then they went all the way down to the National League, which is the lowest in all of Premier League, all of English football. How are they allowing this to happen? How are they allowing a Major League Baseball team to average less than 3,000 people per game? How are they allowing their players to go out there looking like absolute idiots, sweating through their uniforms, like with these tiny ass numbers on there? It just looks cheap. It looks fake. And at this point, when you already have a 17 game difference between first and last place, that is disgusting.
So what's your squeeze then?
I hate Rob Manfred, and that's
the whole thing.
Yeah, and there needs to be a salary cap. There needs to be a salary cap in baseball because right now teams, the small market teams, like I know it's crazy to say that the White Sox are a small market team, but guess what their market is? The Cubs. All right, then you got the Miami Marlins, you've got the LA Angels, who are the same thing because they have the Dodgers, and then you've got the Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds, the Oakland Athletics. San Diego Padres, for that matter, they haven't been able to do anything. When was the last time
they spent money though? So they're actually an argument that spending money doesn't do it.
That any of those teams have been competitive, and why do they have to spend money, Cody? Because there's no salary cap, and if they don't spend money, then they can't compete. And then what they do, they make horrific decisions like signing Xander Bogaerts to like a $200 million deal because they have to try to compete. There's a salary cap. The Rockies, the White Sox, the Marlins, there is no excuse to suck. There is pressure on every single freaking NFL team every single game. And if you are the last place team every single year, then they're going to make changes. They're going to boot you. They're going to get rid of you. How is this possible that they're allowing the Monforts to control the Rockies, where all they do is take the money from the fans and they build all these amazing things at their stadium, which is incredible viewing experience, but they put nothing back into their team. It's disgusting. And baseball's broken. And until they get new leadership in there, and they institute real policies to make it competitive, it's a waste of time.
Spicy. And wrong.
Go ahead. Ooh, tell me why.
Okay.
They're never going to have a salary cap. It's
but
never.
Why not?
He's saying that they should, not that they will.
But they wouldn't. Even if they should, they won't. And so, why even debate that? Also, San Diego Padres spent more than they ever have the last few years. Nothing.
They win. Exactly.
They couldn't keep the core together.
But that's what I'm saying. The Mets just dropped billions of dollars on 2 pitchers and a bunch, and they sucked. So it just shows.
That's my point, Cody, is because there's so much pressure on them because they have to try to compete with the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Phillies.
How many rings have the Dodgers won since this whole? They've won 1 ring in the last decade. It does. The Kansas City Royals won in 2015, developing a squad. The Rockies went to the World Series doing the same exact thing
a long time ago.
So it can be done, though.
Not relevant.
No, but it can be done. Orioles were good last year. The Diamondbacks made it to the World Series last year. So you can develop talent. It's all about your farm system, all about drafting. Just because you spend money in baseball does not mean you're going to do anything with it. Also, if Joey was informed, he would already know that there's a luxury tax called a competitive balance tax, that if you go over that, that money gets handed to the smaller market teams. So they're already getting subsidized by the bigger teams who has that. So that's the only way.
The entire Oakland A's payroll is less than Ohtani.
That's on ownership, and that's on the
entire.
That's on ownership.
But
how could that be allowed? How can that be allowed?
I agree with that. It shouldn't be allowed.
Other leagues have stepped in and stopped shit like that. Do you remember back in the day when they were trying to build a super team with the Lakers, and Adam Silver blocked the Chris Paul trade from the Clippers to the Lakers because it would make an unfair advantage? Like, I mean, where is any of that in Major League Baseball?
Well, owners have to spend X amount minimum on their team, so they need to raise that ceiling for that particular argument. They have to. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's insane. You have to do more to make it competitive. You cannot allow teams like the Rockies to just suck money from their fans and do nothing with it to produce a winning team.
Do they have a good farm system right now? Is that what they're leaning, or do they not have no farm system either?
They've got a couple. They've got some pretty decent kids they've got in the draft, But if you look at who they could have had up to this point, they could have had an infield of, I know that all these players now are hurt and broken, but of Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, it's just like, but they let all of them go for absolutely nothing because what's the incentive? There's no reason
for Arenado to leave.
You're paid for him to leave. There's no reason for you to pay money to have a competitive team because you'll still make money. That's not how it works in other leagues.
Give Chris the mic. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I think back, like, when was the last time that the MLB was faced with this big of a crisis of identity? The late 90s, mid 90s.
Oh, sure. They went on strike.
And what bailed them out, Joey?
The steroids in the home run race.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Oh, no.
Bottom 50% gets one season, no steroid testing.
Just a clean,
if the union can't
test.
be broken, if we can't come up with some sort of equitable expectation around, a salary cap or changing around the luxury tax, saying that this has to be distributed back into your rosters or personnel.
Yes, not just into your system.
One single season, no questions asked. Don't ask, don't tell. And if all of a sudden Charlie Blackmon comes walking out and he's strutting in at 250 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Don't ask any questions.
He's just been eating his beef, right, Joey? Where's the beef?
250 and no balls. Yeah, As Barry Bonds just sucks up in the head and takes it out the balls.
I just don't think you have to pay. Even if you pay, you do not win. So that's my.
Cody,
and then Rob Manfred is not the reason it's right. Every freaking commissioner forever has tried to get a salary cap, and it hasn't happened. The union will never allow it.
There are two teams right now, a month and a half into the season, that are on pace to break the all-time worst winning percentage ever, beating the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics at 235 winning percentage. There's two of them, dude. The Rockies have 235 and the White Sox are 222. I mean, this is absurd.
I think that's squeeze owner. I think we have different solutions to the same problem. Like, let's squeeze ownership. You're fucking billionaires. Like, do something, raise that limit on what you have to spend on a team. But overall, it's like, it's not coming. There is a luxury tax to give money to those teams. But also, you have to develop, you have to coach, you have to build and talent, you have to draft. And it has been done, and it will be done again. So, eat it. Joey, if people like yourself want to submit their squeezes of the week,
if morons like you want to do this,
how do they do so?
Listeners, please respond to many of these takes we've hit today. Tell Cody how much Roger Goodell sucks and how much I am right about everything I say by submitting your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboys.com. Whoa, Jesus.
Oh, reading.
Or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow. If it has the poll, then we'll read it on the show.
Dude.
Chris!
Wait, hold on. So Adam Silver, you would take over Goodell? Or
I would.
What?
I would.
Oh, you're just being
morally,
stupid.
spineless, yes,
morally?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Ethically, yes, I would. Chris. Who's sponsoring today's show?
fellas, today's show is brought to you by the Juice Boys Fund to purchase the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, baby. Nice timing.
It's gotten to this point.
Now, fellas, I recognize we may be stretching ourselves just a bit thin with our budget here with our plans to also purchase the Oakland Athletics, but I just cannot, in good ethics, reach out to help others all the way across the country while my neighbor is sitting in abject poverty.
That's right.
The Colorado Rockies have trailed in every single game so far this season. A feat not seen in more than 120 freaking years.
They've trailed in every game.
So it's time, dear juicy listener, for us to once again ask you to reach deep and help a team crawl out of abject failure and make something of itself. The Juice Boys Fund to purchase the Colorado Rockies, because someone has to be the most disappointing team in all of Major League Baseball history.
It might be us. It might be us this year, boys. It might be us. Although, Cody, you say that you are a Royals fan. Although, anyway, it's going to be close with us and the White Sox. We're going to be pushing the worst ever.
Rockies are worth $1.4 billion, purchased in 1992 for $95 million.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
They make $300 million in revenue each year. So
where is that money going? Into the beautiful stadium.
I guess so. Yeah. Dang, boys. All right.
Our great stadium.
Our big our big potato, our fun topic of the week. Congratulations, boys. You are GMs of an NHL hockey team. And oh shit, all of your goalies are hurt or not performing well. Time to bring in an emergency goalie to get you a dub. Non-hockey player. Boys, who are you picking as your non-hockey player emergency goalie to come out of the stands, throw on the pads, block some pucks, get you a dub?
All right, buddy. So I'll go first again this week. If you need an emergency goalie, what is your goal? What are you trying to do?
Win games, block pucks,
stop dubs. Keep that lamp
puck at whatever chance you could possibly get. So I'm going to take that hilarious old commercial with that dude Vlad. It just went that massive brick wall of a human being and then just backed his ass straight into the goal. And there was not a single, it was almost a Goldberg where there was not a square inch of that goal showing. So I'm going to take the largest athlete that has ever competed, and I'm going to take Yokozuna, the WWE champion from the early 90s.
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunately, Yokozuna died at 34 years old because at one point...
Not a lot of time.
At one point, he reached 800 pounds.
So you're literally just blocking the net.
So you're just putting a brick wall in front of it and being like, this is something.
Yeah. His fighting weight was 650, and then they would announce that he was 800 because they said they really didn't know. They really didn't know how big he was.
They refused to take him to SeaWorld to get a proper weight.
To get the...
But in order to be a goalie, you still have to have some athleticism. And everything I've read about him and seen that everyone was just remarkably amazed by his quickness and his agility and the way that he could move and actually do moves. And the crazy thing, he is the uncle of the current WWE champion, Roman Reigns. They're all from the same fighting family, the Samoan fighting family that has been going on. So stick 800-pound Yokozuna in there, and nothing's going to squeak by. Nothing's going to get through there.
Including his own heart. He's
the poor guy. He did die of a heart attack at 34 years old.
Yeah, if he dies in the goal, do you think they would even notice?
I think you could keep him. You could probably keep him there, and he still block pucks.
This weekend at Bernie, just tape his arms to the post.
Dang, JoJo, Chris, can you beat
what a
650-pound?
Oh, boys, I can beat that. Yeah, you think of what makes a goalie. You want size, you want athleticism, you want lightning quick hands, but you want someone who can see things before they happen, anticipate. And I'm going with the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. 6'2", 230 pounds, the fastest hands we have ever seen. You're not getting past him because he knows what you're trying to do before you even know you're trying to do it. Muhammad Ali would be a mental brick wall in front of there without running the risk of having a heart attack and dying on the ice.
Wow, Chris. Wow. Quick hands and quick feet.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. I mean, he stings like a butterfly and floats like a bee.
Yeah. Wow. That is how that goes.
That's exactly how that goes.
Correct. I'm going with more of Joey's thought process. Large human, take up a lot of space, a little bit of athleticism. I'm going with Stuart Hope is his name.
Who the hell is that?
More commonly known.
People have never heard of.
No. More commonly known as Fat Bastard.
His name is Stuart Hope.
It's Stuart Hope, my good friend.
The land of make-believe.
Yeah, Fat Bastard. He weighs a metric ton, boys. He's a sumo wrestler.
He weighs a metric ton.
And
but then he lost all that weight.
No, this is pre-Subway. Pre-Subway.
Before he went on the Jared.
The Subway diet.
For those that don't know, Fat Bastard is Austin Powers' character in multiple movies, and his first scene tries to eat babies. Yes. I hope my wilding team is ready. He was also a sumo wrestler in the first movie he appeared in, so he has some athleticism, some agility. He's fucking metric ton. He's blocking it just like Joey's pick. Beat that. You guys can't beat that.
I already did with the real.
Plays dirty too.
Just real like athlete.
Went with actual people that existed.
No, Fat Bastard, Mr. Stewart Hope,
a real WWE athlete.
Oh, real and WWE doesn't correlate.
So Christopher stole my thunder here with my second pick, because I was going to take who was renowned as the fastest hands of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. But Muhammad Ali was better, even though Sugar Ray Robinson. I just want to throw this out there real quick. 174.
Here goes Joey making an extra pick again.
174, 19, and 6. The 109 knockouts. Oh my God. How's that guy? How'd that guy survive? But no, since you took a boxing pick, I'm going to take somebody else. And, and I was looking through anybody, baseball, baseball and hockey with the hand-eye coordination, I think are pretty similar. So I was looking at who's a great Canadian player. And I looked up somebody who played first base, Justin Morneau, a Canadian legend. Okay. Justin Morneau played goalie all the way up through high school, had to make the pick of choosing between hockey and baseball. And he chose baseball as you can make more money. And damn, is he right. As we just talked about with this ridiculous debate. Yeah, he did pretty well for himself. He was a 4-time All-Star batting champion with the Rockies and an MVP. But I think with him, his hockey background, him just being Canadian.
You mean the Twins? Who are we talking about?
Justin Morneau. He played for the Rockies at the end of his career after Hilton left. He won a batting title with the Rockies.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Hell yeah,
he's known for the Twins first baseman.
Number 33, you know why?
Why?
Patrick Waugh. He's number 33 for Patrick Waugh. So goalie icon. So I took Yokozuna as a joke and Justin Morneau because I think he could actually do it.
That's pretty okay. Joey's got 2 emergency goalies ready to roll. Chris?
Ready to roll. So I always try and, pick something that I don't think you guys expect.
Mm-hmm. Always.
And so, in the effort to put his money where his mouth is, I'm going with a guy who has an expectation that because you are a professional athlete, you should be ready to put your own life on the line for other people's entertainment, no matter what.
Exactly.
And so congratulations, Joey. You are getting a NHL level paycheck, but you're hopping your happy ass into that goal and taking 100-mile-an-hour pucks.
Joey is the emergency pick?
I'm picking Joey as my emergency pick.
Please. Let's do it, baby.
Joey's dead.
Yeah,
He's literally dead.
Do you know how much I've taken, how many hits I've taken in baseball? I've stood right in front of these kids.
From high school and middle schoolers, Chris, is what he's comparing to athletes
none of them
on
are
ice.
ringing in at 100 miles an hour with a rubber puck.
there with a baseball coming off the bat at 10 feet away when you're trying to get
a little
toss.
Okay, Joe. I can't. He's connecting some. Okay, yeah, we don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is Joey thinks that he could beat Charles Barkley in golf all over again. But
the
hey,
sophomore second baseman.
I know that his ego is on the line, so I know he would go in there, give it his all until he got his lights put out and had to be stretchered off.
I would block every single. I'd just dive right at him, just straight face to it. Like, hey, yeah, padding for a reason. It's like how the French look at bumpers. They're literally there to push cars out of the way. It's just
what a random fun fact. What was that? Where did that come from? A French fun fact? Is that what?
I'm watching a lot of Top Gear lately, but yeah.
Also, Justin Morneau made all this money in a small market team. Funny how that works.
Yeah, is he a Hall of Famer? No.
What does that have to do with
small market teams? It takes for freaking ever. He's a great player.
All right, guys. Well, I'm just going to take the dub here right now. Larry McClain.
Who the hell is Larry McClain?
Well, I think we were all thinking it, so I appreciate you going with whoever the hell that is.
The tallest catcher to ever play in the major leagues.
Okay.
You need a catcher who's crazy. This guy's crazy. I'm going to tell you a little bit, but the tallest, he played catcher, a professional athlete. I think catcher translates to goalie better than Justin Morneau at first base translating to goalie. You got to block balls, you got to block pucks.
The same hot kind of corner at first base? Are you kidding me?
Not even close to a catcher. It's the same thing. A goalie and a catcher.
A hot corner.
Hot corner is also third base.
I know, but if you're lefty, it's first base.
No. Oh, Joey, no. I just called that shit out. You tried to be confident in that bullshit.
There are also some people who are lefties. Joey's not one of them, but they do exist.
Yeah, if you're a right-handed batter, it's third base.
No one has ever called first base the hot corner, by the way.
It is if you have lefties.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Can I talk about Larry?
We shift over.
Can I talk about
just
Larry,
took a hockey
please?
puck to the head, everybody.
He was a catcher from 1901 to 1915. Played for 5 different teams as a catcher.
That's always.
He was killed by a bartender after he retired.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
You have to be crazy to play hockey. You got to be even crazier to be a goalie.
It was probably during Prohibition, huh?
Right before that, actually, he had you're right. Actually, right in the middle of that. He also got in a fight with his manager and scout. The scout said he was too fat, and they decided to suspend him. Old Larry disagreed with that. Got in and went in with his guys in the hotel to beat up the scout.
Okay.
Wow.
Threw a chair over the scout's head, is what the story says. He retired. Obviously, loses his job. Doesn't play another inning in the MLB. Goes to the bartender 6 years later. Literally was just trying to get over the bar. The legend says. Bartender didn't agree with that move and shot him dead.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is early 1900s. That's how that goes.
Yeah. He was unruly the night before. He came back the next day, and he returned offended when the manager refused to give him a cigarette. That's where this all started. So he leaned over the bar for a cigarette, shot dead. He was 6'5".
You don't know, I'm Larry McClain. Give me my cigarettes, eh?
I think you got to be crazy.
That was exactly what he said. You nailed it, Joe.
You got to be crazy. He's big. He's a professional athlete, professional catcher. How tall was he? 6'5".
6'5". He must have had phenomenal knees.
God bless Larry. Nuts.
You're going to say beat that as if you're not the last one to go.
Yeah, you're right. I did say that.
Way to go.
Also, what's the best emergency goalie story before we wrap up? Is it like the concession guy, the Zamboni guy? The
Zamboni guy is by far my favorite because he came in and got the actual win. It was awesome.
Someone give people who may not know an emergency goalie. What is that? Does it happen a lot, or what happens when in that case?
It almost never happens. Like it happens probably like once every Halley's Comet. And so that's 72 years. What's the one that comes 76 years? What's the
guy, you've already lost me. You're not going to pick that back up. Why don't you just proceed?
It happens every few years, right? Okay. When a team is down to one goalie or whether the first goalie gets hurt or something, or they're scratched right before the game, and then they have to have an emergency goalie. And the last time it happened in NHL was for the Carolina Hurricanes, and they literally had their Zamboni driver who plays goalie for a pickup team on the side. Strap it up in between things. They had this sew on his jersey like in intermission, and he comes on and lets up his first 2 shots that he faces are goals. Then he stops 6 in a row after that, and they win. And so the whole team just went absolutely. He was 43 years old, 43-year-old Zamboni driver, just like strap him up, let's go.
He got himself like a mid-range contract out of that, didn't he? Didn't he wind up getting signed by somebody like AHL, something like that?
Yeah. I don't know if he stuck with it, but that's pretty freaking badass.
And then before we jump into our ads and stat of the day, you guys sent in listener Dell, friend of the show, sent in some
my boy Dell, not listener Dell. My boy Dell.
Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
He's all of our boy now.
That's why we
had a fun. He's a shared boy.
His name.
we had a fun potato last week of picking your non-jockey and Kentucky Derby horse, and we asked you guys to send some in. Dell sent a few honorable mentions in. I want to read them off real quick.
Hilarious. The 1935 Kentucky Derby winner, actually named Omaha. There you go, Chris.
Let's go, Omaha.
And he said, who else to write it but Peyton Manning? That's very fitting. Omaha the whole time. Omaha.
Every time he hits the horse, too, just screaming it.
Omaha. All right. And the 1975 winner, Foolish Pleasure. And who else to ride that? Robert Kraft.
Oh, no.
Oh, beautiful, Dell. Oh, I love this. This is so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. If you guys have any additions to any potatoes from any past episode, send them in. We'll get them on the show.
All right, listeners, remember you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please consider following and rating the show and leave us a review if you listen through Apple. We encourage you to follow our YouTube channel and subscribe to our Spotify. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Let's put those stickers all over the place. Nashville, Tennessee has a new sticker this week. I was very happy to see that.
They sure do. Yeah, if you're listening from Nashville, give us a shout out because I definitely.
You painted the city.
Yeah, a little bit.
City juice.
It was tagged. So I want to see those Juice Boy stickers all over the place. Cody, back to you.
Christopher, who is sponsoring today's 40th episode stat of the day.
Dear delicious, juicy listener, today's stat of the day is brought to you by the Anthony Edwards Basketball School.
Hey, that's a serious.
The NBA playoffs are upon us, and Michael Jordan's illegitimate son is finding himself a little bored by the competition. So he's decided to open up a basketball school where you can get schooled just like your favorite NBA All-Stars, including Devin Booker and Jamal Murray. Yes, Ant is finding himself with so little challenge by these first 2 rounds of the postseason, he has decided to offer nightly schooling for anyone looking to have their ankles broken by the NBA's next generation defining all-star. Anthony Edwards can do it all, from stuffing shots to steals to destroying my hopes and dreams of a back-to-back ring for the Denver Nuggets. He promises to do all this for the low price of $1,000 per lesson. So sign up now. As it appears, the Oklahoma Thunder look to be enrolling here soon, and spots will fill up fast. Anthony Edwards Basketball School, because when you make the reigning champions look like the Washington Generals, it's time for a new challenge.
Oh, God.
Ouch. That hurts, right?
That hurts all of our souls.
It hurt my heart a whole lot.
Yeah.
I guess they are a paying customer. We got to read the...
This is very true.
We got to read the ad. All right, guys, stat of the day to wrap up our 40th episode. Thank you guys so much. I really can't believe it still. Last year, the MLB changed a bunch of rules in an effort to speed up the pace of play each game.
Manfred, boo.
Did it work, Chris? Or Joe? Did it work? Yeah, totally worked.
Still boo.
Pitching clock, bigger bases, more activity going on. The average game was 2 hours and 37 minutes, which was about it was like 20 to 30 minute drastic decrease from before. Well, they doubled down. They shortened the pitch clock even a little bit more.
Oh, jeez.
And listener Kendall sent us in this fun stat of the day. Thank you, listener Kendall. If you guys see any other stat of the day, send them our way. We'll get them on here. Listener Kendall sent us what is the new average time in the first month of this season after they doubled down on the rules. They sped up the pitch clock. 5
The
more
average
seconds.
time in between pitches now in the new MLB.
It's 18 seconds from 20 seconds last year.
What was the average again last year?
2 hours and 37 minutes. So what has the new rules done to decrease time of play?
You go 2 hours, 29 minutes.
Going 2 hours 25.
Ooh.
The game time has dropped by 1 minute.
That's it.
Yeah, we crushed it.
All of that for 60 more seconds of your life back.
Thanks,
How about
Rob
that?
Manfred.
It was very fitting.
Yeah.
What do you love, Bud Selig?
Oh, God, I hated Bud Selig,
So,
too.
do you just hate everybody? All the commissioners?
Yes, he does.
Of course, that's the
Me
point.
too.
Yeah.
So you hate Roger Goodell. You hate
hate
Rob Manfred.
I
Hatred.
hate him. Oh, don't even get me started about Gary Bettman. Oh.
But you like Adam Silver out of all the fucking commissioners? You're taking Adam Silver?
I do. I like him the best out of all.
Oh my God.
What? He's a spun. He does nothing. He's just a blah.
I disagree.
He's only made his players play more games.
Which is fine with me.
But Roger Goodell can't do that for the NFL.
It's for money.
Oh. Okay. You know what's not for money, boys?
The show.
I was
This
going to
show.
say, you know what Cody hates? Having to end our hangs.
Yeah. Oh, guys, it's our 40th episode. What have we learned? Have we learned anything?
No.
Oh.
And I hope the
don't
listener
think so.
hasn't either.
I don't think we did today. No.
We haven't brought up Kevin in Topeka in a while.
Or
Kevin,
Chet.
I
How
heard,
is
still out
he?
there.
Kevin.
You know.
Does everyone realize Kevin is
everybody.
made up at this point or no?
No,
don't
dude,
think
he is
so.
not. I know
It took
Kevin.
my wife so long to know that, and it was one of those where it's like, oh yeah, of course not. We never mentioned that we made that up. Why would they think that was made up?
That's true.
Just
Yeah.
because it's imaginary doesn't mean it's not real.
Oh my gosh. But what are the odds a Kevin exists in Topeka, Kansas? It's got to be high chances.
0%. There's not a
Definitely.
chance. They actually don't allow Kevins in Topeka.
Oh shit! It's actually on the sign as you
that's why
drive
they
in.
picked- That's
Yeah.
why I picked the name.
No,
That's actually the city slogan. Kevin, go fuck yourself.
I 100% guarantee there's a Chet in Perth.
There is. Absolutely. There is a Chet in Perth.
Wow, this ending couldn't have fizzled out even more on our 40th anniversary, boys. Love,
Anniversry?
love. Oh, damn it. We're
We're back in high school now.
screeching
It's our
halt.
40 week
We're doing great, boys.
anniversary.
Hey, why don't we end the show?
Should we end it?
Bye.
Should we get him out of here? Bye.